Guys, huge news. Sneaky Geek is back. We're on episode 22, and it's a 4-parter. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Sneaky Geek, but this one's special
Comic-Con edition.
Bum, bum, bum. And this time, we got ourselves a Tate!
Hi, everybody. This is Tate.
So, we are at Comic-Con, so this is your Comic-Con edition of Sneaky Geek, and we had what is by far the best Thursday I think I've ever had. Lots of super cool shit happened. Brian?
Yeah.
Tell the people what happened in the beginning of our day today.
We ate some really good Costco muffins.
Yes.
The chocolate are on point.
Yes.
And then, that was about it. We just kind of hung out.
Yeah, that was it. We just kind of hung out at the Comic-Con for the rest of the day. It's been a great episode, everybody.
And we'll talk to you later.
We'll talk to you later, yeah.
Hi, this has been Muffin Talk, and we will see you later.
Thanks.
But for reals, though.
For real,
like,
holy
shit. So we ended up going to the Clone Wars panel, the 10th anniversary Clone Wars panel.
Oh, my God.
With Dave Filoni.
Oh, my God.
And
This is the podcast. Bryce is having a minor freak out just thinking about it.
again, this has happened like 700 or 800 times today. Between all of us.
You're underestimating the amount of times Bryce has been in this emotional roller coaster that is the return of Clone Wars.
Yeah, so let's break that down. So it was really cool. Okay, so quick.
So real quick, wait, real quick. We kind of just jumped right to the end of that story with like way to just like throw the punchline out right off the bat, Tate. But yeah, holy shit, and
Backwards.
So, anyways, got to the panel, and it was 10th anniversary panel, and they were just like, "Oh, let's show a bunch of drawings that Dave Filoni did on cocktail napkins and shit like that, and, and notes during meetings for episodes and stuff that hadn't aired because it was canceled." For further backstory, please see episodes whatever we did. Episode 2 and 3, was it that?
It was 3 and 4.
Anyways, we did some Clone Wars episodes. Go listen to them. We'll wait.
And we're back.
Okay, we're back. Great. So, glad you enjoyed those. Anyways, so they canceled Clone Wars. Sadly, they brought it back for like half a season. Some things were done. Some things were like recorded and not done. Some things were wire worked and not done. So there's a bunch of various stages, including the novel Dark Disciple and the Darth Maul comic book. So then they're just showing a bunch of stuff that from along the years.
Basically stuff that you would get if you had like a special edition DVD or something.
Yeah.
Here's some concept art.
Yeah, or if they put out like an art book or something like that. Yeah,
we saw the very first trailer they showed for Clone Wars that they threw together in a weekend for Star Wars Celebration.
Still completely awesome.
Yeah, which was great. And Ashley Eckstein was there, and the voice of Anakin, Matt something.
And Matt Lanter.
Yes, Matt Lanter. And the composer of the music. Kevin Kiner, who is fantastic, has done 30 different films at least, and like 500 or something like that.
Like 33 and 5,000 episodes.
Yeah, 5,000 different episodes of television.
Cool stuff,
lots of really great stuff.
So they were all there.
Athena Pastillo.
She's one of the producers.
Yeah, she's an animator.
Right. No.
She was a visual director.
Visual director. Yeah. So she knows animation and how difficult those things can be. So basically, we got everything that you'd want out of like a special edition DVD. Oh, okay, now we got some cool behind the scenes footage. We got to see some concept art we didn't want to see.
We got a lot of
we didn't get to see.
We got a lot of cool concept art from the episodes that were going to be the Dark Disciple novel. Well, the episodes that were made into the Dark Disciple. So that was really cool getting those little shots.
One of my favorite parts about that too was that they had really, really loose kind of sketches for some and really detailed ones. And he said that the reason that Dark Disciple was so detailed because he knew exactly what it was, but the ones that they were still kind of working through the concepts, they were a lot looser.
Yeah, as I was saying, the looser the sketch, the more they had to come up with for the episode. So
they came up with the basic action sequences and what they wanted out of it, and then they were going to flesh it out.
Right, like the droid episodes.
Or Baby Boba in his armor.
Yeah, Baby Boba in his armor.
Heavily detailed Baby Boba and...
Baby Boba.
Baby Boba. Rubber Baby Boba buggy bumpers. But then like the episode with all of the astromechs stuck in the desert, super detailed because he's like, this is the only way these shots are going to work. We have to know how the angles are. Yeah, because there's no dialogue. It has to be all beeps and boops and yeah.
One guy monologuing to beeps and boops the whole time.
So we got everything we really wanted out of
45 minutes into it, like a nice recap. They showed some,
and then they gushed a little bit about each other, which was really nice.
Really
it was kind of like this, really like, hey, you guys need to understand. Like, Ashley Eckstein said that Dave Filoni was the best director she's ever worked with. Kevin Kiner said that he's the best director. Like everybody just gushed over him. Yeah. Then they gushed about the fans a little bit, and they were like, it's been ever since I got a Twitter. Filoni said, ever since I got a Twitter. I don't think an hour has gone by where someone hasn't tweeted me like save Clone Wars. And it was just such a he was like I know you guys wish you to come back, like I see how much you guys love this and I really appreciate it. And we've all given up at this point. Like we all knew as soon as Disney bought it, like that's the end of that. Where the Disney machine don't forgive and it don't forget. And they were like, no, this is all you get.
Under Cartoon Network's they owned the show.
Cartoon Network owned the show. And the rights for distribution were a little funky. We weren't sure what we could, there wasn't really an answer for that problem. And then
he's like, oh, and then we got a little something for you guys.
He's like, we put a little something together for you guys. And he was really like weirdly cryptic about it. Like you could tell he didn't want to say.
We all think this is like a short 5-minute thing for the fans. We think it's just like, oh, here's a wrap up. Everyone did something.
Yeah, like a wrap up or an epilogue or even like a little short, like, hey, we actually had a little bit of animation done we've never actually shown before. I figured something cool like that.
Like that, yeah. But it wasn't.
Then the lights went out and everyone kind of quietly lost their shit. Yeah. Like, I was like, what is, like, you could feel the whole crowd be like, what the hell are they about to show us? Like, you suddenly knew because the lights went out super ominously. Yeah. And then Rex monologues. Well, and then not even Rex monologue, just general clone monologue. Because it starts with Rex, but then he's like, I'm Commander Cody, and then you've got, this is 5, he's top, everything comes in there. You can call me, we got a bunch of shinies in here. Yeah. And then, with Rex, he's like, my name's Rex, you can call me Captain or Sir, you know? And life is just like, you're like, and they keep going back on all these helmets, and you're like, okay, cool, not real difficult, not really difficult to animate a bunch of helmets. I see, we threw this together.
Yeah.
And then they just started showing more shit.
Yeah, but it was like it didn't look familiar.
Then we got Anakin's back.
Yeah, we got Anakin's back, but he had longer hair. And we're like, wait, this is new. This isn't old.
We've never
seen any of this.
We've had a modern processor for the graphics.
Yeah, that too.
that too. And then they showed that title. And
then they showed Obi-Wan with a beard that looked
and so they showed the title and everybody's like, oh crap, that's super cool, that was so fun. And then like it fades back in and you're like, why are we still doing this? And then Anakin and Obi-Wan walk in and he's like, Rex, what do you got to show me? And then
it's Obi-Wan in episode 3 looking garb and beard.
His robe.
And Anakin has his long hair in episode 3, and we're like, what?
Anakin's asking, what's so important? Come on.
And then we see Ahsoka Tano, my favorite Jedi in the whole world, in a hologram.
We'll always be surprised to say those words.
And then in a hologram, turns around and is like, what up, Master?
Yeah.
Been a minute.
Got a crown now.
She's got a cool crown thing on her face. Her Lekus are a little longer.
She's a little taller.
And
not
people
kind of freak out.
People started like yelling, and then they were like, but it was so funny because everyone was like trying to stifle themselves. So you'd hear this like,
Mom! Dialogue. Yeah.
Mom!
Yeah.
Mom! and then they showed a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
And then
you can see this all online, by the way.
Yeah, it's all online. We're just reliving it because we're super geeking out about this right now.
They knew it would leak fast enough.
I'm sure they put it out themselves like
immediately.
And then
lights came on. And lights came on. We
Let's do it again.
Oh, and there was the hashtag that says,
and it said the Clone Wars saved.
And that's when everybody lost
and
their
everyone
shit.
lost their mind, and
like
people cried,
3
people
solid
hugged.
minutes.
People
Yes, we did.
were
Both of those.
we hugged, we cried,
Yeah.
we threw our hands in the air. I screamed like a little girl.
You can find that
Several times. Several
You can
cries.
find that in our Instagram feed story.
Yeah, our Instagram story and Facebook story has me screaming like a little girl.
You can
And
most
then
likely
and
hear
then
Bryce
he
on
got a
every
standing ovation, like the whole
Yeah,
crowd, and
we all
like
stood up.
and everyone you can see like Ashley Eckstein's up there crying,
Yeah.
and the rest of them they're all hugging each other, like they're all just so happy to finally be able to tell us all.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "You guys want to watch that again?"
Yeah.
And everybody calms down, sits back down, watches it, and as soon as it's done,
Everybody,
we're gonna say a standing ovation again.
Yeah.
Like,
And then he says, "Yeah, we have new episodes." Because before they didn't say anything about what was going on. They just said the trailer. It's like, "Oh, you want to watch it again?" And he's like, "Okay, yeah, we have new episodes." And like, that was it.
Yeah, they're going to be available on the Disney Direct online streaming service. I assume
fall?
that that's either A, a ploy by Disney to be like, oh, yeah, we don't want to necessarily risk that, or B, because they're like, oh, we can't show things on television because we have certain legal boundaries for that.
It's
I don't know
never
how
going-
it stands it.
As much as we love it, because they put it on their own prioritized service, it'll never get the ratings that they absolutely want and it deserves.
No, that's true, but
It never does.
But no, the Star Wars fans find a way.
they find a way.
I mean,
You know,
we brought
honestly,
Star Wars back.
Steven
Dr.
Universe.
Malcolm, unlike Dr. Malcolm, we find an actual way.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it works. Like Steven Universe does simulcast, where they'll do like they'll release it online because they realize that they keep losing their
given
stuff.
they put
It
on-
keest getting leaked, and they
We
keep
can get
spoiling
into
huge
Steven
things.
bombs later.
But anyway, so that was the beginning of our day,
Yeah, it was.
and
that was the first panel we went.
it was the first thing we
Only
did.
panel we went to.
Only panel we went to do. I think we kind of forgot most of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
It's Comic-Con. You always forget.
Yeah. Oh man. So we got posters out of it.
so yeah, and then during it, they handed out all these tickets, and they said, "Oh, by the way, those tickets aren't raffle tickets. They're like a redeem ticket."
Yeah, they're redeem tickets. Take them over to the Hilton. Grab yourself a poster.
It's exactly what you saw on the screen here.
Yeah. And that's when we lost our shit again.
Yeah, we all got a poster out of it that said hashtag Clone Wars saved and had Cody's helmet on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was just
That was wonderful.
Oh, it
was so wonderful.
such a great way to start Comic-Con.
Yeah. So then after that, we were just so in awe. We saw a couple friends that we hadn't seen in a little while, and we were all like hugging and excited, and
There was love in the air.
there was much
There was.
fandom
We
love.
all and we took some. There were a ton of Star Wars cosplayers,
Oh,
and
they're
we
so
took
good.
some great photos of them. And I mean, okay, the photos aren't great, but like there were tons
But
of
they were
photo
great.
ops, and they were great. They were fantastic.
So were we.
Yeah, it's so were we. Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Then a bunch of stuff
We ended up
happened.
walking the floor a little bit. We saw our good buddy Dave. We saw a couple of good buddies, Dave, over at their booths.
Yep, we saw Dave Ziegler, our friend of the podcast, a longtime friend of the podcast, in our Clone War episode.
Yeah.
I insulted the producer of Teen Titans
Yes,
Go
can
to
we
the
please
Movies.
talk about
Oh
that?
my god. Okay, let me tell at least part of the story, and then I'll let Tate take over. So we are standing at Dave Ziegler's booth, and by Dave Ziegler's booth I mean Steve's booth that Dave works at, and we're standing at the booth, and at some point somebody mentions like Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
They did.
And these two guys mentioned it, and Dave's like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. It's great."
Where did you see it?
And because we had been talking about our disappointment in the Titans trailer, because the Titans trailer has some
Grimdark, Batman.
I mean they took some choices with it as far as the trailer goes that I hope are not defining features of the entire show. We'll find out. But we were talking about that, and these guys mentioned Teen Titans to Go to the Movies. And Dave was like, "Oh, I saw it. It's really good, you guys." Like, and he was letting him know because he saw it at VidCon when he went with Mo for Mo's Con Mitzvah. Which, fun fact, Mo's Con Mitzvah was VidCon and not a Comic Con.
Yeah.
So, which is
that.
super cool.
Yeah.
So they saw it there, and then Tate told his opinion on the film, which is not about the film because he obviously hasn't seen it yet.
Yep.
But there were some rumors going around that the success of this film could determine some stuff. So Tate said.
I was discussing at least the rumors that essentially holding a season 6 of the original Teen Titans series hostage with the reviews and the sales of the movie.
Yeah. So can you explain like kind of what basically that means?
basically that would mean if the movie did well, the original Teen Titans series would get another season similar to Samurai Jack.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the season's not done.
The season's not even
created. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so one of the guys, he's like, "Who? Would you hear that from?" And Tate was like, "I couldn't tell you where."
Source.
And they were like, "That came from Tara Strong. You can't always trust what voice actors say."
Maybe.
And he said it kind of knowingly, and I was like, you don't insult voice actors unless you work with them or are one.
Yeah.
Because everybody else just loves those guys.
Yeah.
And even still, like, it's obviously a jest. Then the guy, talks to Dave a little bit more about it because he was really, Dave was really into it. He said, "I thought it was really funny."
Thankfully, I didn't go any further.
We didn't go any further about our
I did not
disdain
go into
for Teen Titans Go or anything like that.
thank God.
And the thing is this movie, like, I think has come to a point where Teen Titans Go is painfully aware that they are
they've been painfully
not
aware since
a
season
replacement.
1.
Yeah, but that they are not a replacement, and that people are upset about them being kind of treated as one by the network. But that's the network issue, and frankly, Cartoon Network has a whole bunch of things to answer for in the last several years. But Tate didn't say anything like that. We didn't say a single thing. And then the guy who asked us about Teen Titans Go says, "Yeah, I produced that movie."
And that's when I'm making diamonds.
And about 2 seconds later is when I walk up, because I was in the restroom the whole time.
The sheepishness of Tate in that moment was, I was like, "How you feel, Tate?" And he's like, "I stand by what I say." And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I was honest. I was being honest.
Thankfully, there was nothing. There were no assumptions made about the film itself, which was really cool.
There was no cursing about the production or anything.
They were really cool.
They were.
They were really cool.
They were. I was happy about that. He wanted honest opinions from people, and I appreciate that.
The producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No, it was good.
He did seem a little concerned when Dave was like, "Yeah, I've already seen it." He's like, "How'd you see it?" And he's like, "They did a showing at VidCon." And he was like, "Oh yeah."
Has it been leaked?
Well, and then it turns out that guy, like Dave was like, "I thought you looked familiar," because that guy had introduced the movie at VidCon, and Dave walked in right as they were like walking out.
Oh, okay.
So
Dave might have noticed a little earlier.
we were clueless.
Thus, it was awesome.
Yeah. So then we went from there over to the Marvel booth, and we got some cool Marvel stuff.
Saw some marvelous people over there that we know.
Some cool
good
Marvel
friends.
people that we know.
Walked around a little bit more. What else did we do?
Let's see.
I think
we smashed.
We played. We smashed. Oh, we smashed so hard.
I won.
And what they give you for winning when we all went together and smashed?
I got pinned.
We played Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, the new one. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Its control scheme, I'm still getting used.
It's a fighting game. What do you expect?
Yeah. But it looks beautiful. I played as Ridley, which was super freaking cool. And then after that, I played as Pit because I wanted to win that pin. I wanted to get pinned. Yeah, I wanted to spam, and I couldn't figure out how to do all the spammy moves. Who'd you play as?
I played as Ryu at first, which was really cool from Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, Ridley from Metroid and Pit from Kid Icarus.
Yeah. It was really cool. They got all sorts of characters from all sorts of properties in there. And then played Mewtwo.
Nice.
Yeah.
You had an Eevee fall as a player for at the same time, I noticed.
An Eevee showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that Eevee was just chilling.
Yeah.
I think the Eevee was a distraction item. Basically, see that big player 4 and people not actually paying attention will start.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it and Brian's bar wasn't going up any worse.
Yeah. But no, it was really fun. I usually suck at those games because I just suck.
I definitely suck at
But
those
I didn't
games.
do as bad as I thought I would have.
No, I was last place, but that was just because I spent the entire time avoiding everybody.
Yeah.
Both times last place. Yeah. And then Tate, who'd you play as?
First time I was Breath of the Wild Link, and then second time I was Cloud because I didn't want to accidentally constantly spam arrow
Cloud
attacks.
from?
Final Fantasy VII.
Cloud from Final Fantasy VII versus Ridley from Metroid versus Bayonetta.
versus Mewtwo.
Versus Mewtwo.
We had a fourth there.
Yeah,
who,
some random dude.
He beat us all rather soundly in the first round as Bayonetta, and then thought
You can tell he's played this one.
Oh, well, he's at least gone through it one time before because he knew Bayonetta's special moves.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he decided, hey, I think I'm gonna keep the familiar unit and trounce these guys who are just playing to have fun again.
Right.
And then he didn't. Tate got pinned. Yeah.
I kamikazed everyone a couple times and got my points up.
That was seriously cool. Like, everyone went flying off the screen.
Yeah.
It was just a big X of streaks. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he got a cool Super Smash Brothers pin, which was super neat. And then from there,
I think we decided to go find the posters.
Then we went from the posters. So Comic-Con, for those of you who've never been to a convention before, because we really haven't done a convention episode before. We probably should do like a full convention episode at some point.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
But Comic-Con, for those of you who don't know, is like most conventions. There is an exhibit hall where many companies and artists and vendors and all sorts of different people have booths, and they will give things away at their booths. Some people will sell things at their booths, some things, and then besides that, there's also panels. So we kind of did the full gambit of those today. And then sometimes outside you'll find extra things to do, extra cool like things to check out. And then
sometimes they have even the better swag outside than they do in.
Yeah. I got a much stronger bag outside than I did inside last year.
Yeah.
So we did the exhibit hall for a little bit, and then we left the exhibit hall to go get our posters, which was quite the trek. We walked everywhere. Yeah. We walked past the 4 anime viewing rooms. Through the Marriott Hotel.
Yeah, through the Marriott, then behind the Marriott.
Past the Magic room, past the board game room, past the movie viewing room.
Yeah. And it turned out we were going the
semi-wrong direction, but also we're in the completely wrong hotel.
Yeah.
So we found it next door.
Yep.
Got a really cool poster.
Hired poor people to hold signs outside going like, woo, posters this way, around this entire building.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, got the posters, chilled for a little bit, charged up the phones, decided to walk back to the con and go check some stuff out. And then, we ran into somebody really cool.
Dave. Well, so Brian turns around and goes, Dave? And I'm like, who's he talking to? We know so many Daves.
Yeah.
And so I figure he must be one of the Daves we know. And no, he is not one of the Daves we know. He is, in fact.
Well,
so we were walking, not even 10 seconds before, we were still just like, that panel was fucking amazing. It was so good. And I can't wait for the show. And
I can't tell you how many times today I've just stopped and said, guys, Clone Wars coming back.
Yeah.
Clone Wars is coming back, you guys. I've welled up with tears multiple times. Yeah. I've just gotten randomly extremely giddy. You have to understand when I realized what was going on, I just went like a nut job, and then cried, and then hugged Brian, and then high-fived a girl next to me who I didn't even know, and life was just so great. It was just so cool. Yeah. Okay, tell the story.
So then we're gushing, and we're walking down the road. And all of a sudden, I see this guy walk in past us. I'm like, he looks really familiar. He usually wears a hat. Holy shit, that's Dave Filoni.
He had ditched his cowboy hat.
Which is smart, because he would have been recognized otherwise. But you couldn't really tell. But I'm like, Dave? Thanks, buddy, kind of thing. And
thank you so much.
He turned around and he was like, that panel was freaking awesome. It was freaking amazing. So awesome. And then I started saying I was ugly crying so much. We were all ugly crying. Thank you so much. And then we all just said thank you a couple times.
He smiled. Well, first it was really cool because it looked like he was in a hurry, but he turned around and he stopped just to did a quick little conversation.
And thank us for thanking him.
Yeah. And he's like, thanks, guys.
Probably at least keeping it a little low key, not yelling out his entire name.
Yeah. Which is one of my big things. I don't ever like to scream these people's names out and gush. Although I did wind up fanboying a little bit over somebody later in the day. We'll get there though.
But yeah, so no, yeah, we said hi, we said thanks. He's like, oh, thanks, guys. And he was like,
walking backwards, as letting us.
You could tell he's there, but he still wanted to interact with us, which was really cool.
A big smile from that. He was like,
"Oh, totally.
This is the type of thanks I want. Not you are God.
We're not worthy.
You're not
worthy. You're worthy.
You're worthy. Get up." Oh man, it was super cool.
Yeah.
And then we went back into the exhibit hall. We didn't wind up going back to any panels that we were planning on. We were going to go to Marvel Rising, didn't go to Marvel Rising.
Forgot Marvel.
We were going to go to Iron Fist, at least I wanted to, and we didn't go to Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I'd love to see where they're going with it, so we got to watch all that stuff,
we'll watch
which is another aspect of Comic-Con that is really common. Now with WonderCon and maybe like some of these smaller cons, when a big announcement happens, like, because you can go to pretty much all the things, especially in the smaller ones, like smaller not where they do make some announcements. If something happens, that's going.
Yeah, if something big happens here, like in Hall H, you don't know until you get home or until you just manage to be on your phone looking at the internet and just being like, oh, this was just announced like 100 feet to the left, and because there's so much going on here.
So much. Because we're getting an announcement on Clone Wars, but in the same day that Clone Wars trailer drops, we got a new Doctor Who trailer. We got new information on Iron Fist. Yeah. We got what other big announcements? We have to find out.
Yeah, we don't even know.
Which is one of those things. Is the end of the day, you got to look home.
Broly win.
Dragon Ball Super movie.
Trailer. There's just so many things that are all happening, and they're all happening, everywhere. But the most important thing is that many of them are going to happen in Hall H. And if they're happening in Hall H, for those of you at home, Hall H is the biggest banquet room. It's a tiny it's huge.
Yeah. There will be a mile long line the entire night and into the morning.
Yeah. People camp out for Hall H stuff because Hall H is the big
it's
like
the
stuff.
One.
The only one that comes
tomorrow,
close.
So.
Yeah, Kevin Smith's here tomorrow. The only thing the only thing that comes close to Hall H is maybe Ballroom 20. Yeah. And a lot of big things happen in Ballroom 20 as well. But we last year we struggled to get into Ballroom 20 for a while.
Indigo Ballroom.
Oh, we went to the Indigo Ballroom. You're right. Even still, Indigo Ballroom is also huge.
Indigo Ballroom is like I'd go Indigo Ballroom, Ballroom 20, Hall H. I'd go Indigo Ballroom is about 75% the size of Ballroom 20, and Ballroom 20 is 75% the size of Hall H, I'd say.
Yeah. It's just, it's massive. So then we went over. We saw Nicole Gu and Dave Baker. We're going to try to have them on the podcast later in the week because we're going to try to have one of these out for you every night. Hopefully, we'll see what we can do. Tommy, don't hold us to it. And then we saw Fuzzy.
Yeah.
We saw so many cool things. There's just so much cool things. Yeah. We've been trying to put as much of it as we can onto the Sneaky Geek Instagram. It's all over our Instagram story. Definitely go check it out. We will try to post some other pictures onto our Instagram as well after that. Oh, and then while we were over hanging out with Fuzzy, standing there in the booth right next to Fuzzy's was the author of one of my favorite comedy books from my freshman year of college. This guy named Maddox, who wrote this book called The ABCs of Manliness, which is just ridiculous, over the top, a satire kind of thing. But he wrote a book called Fuck Whales, and it's just all these things fuck these things, and it's. I don't know. We had a great talk about comedy and in this modern era of hyper awareness regarding what is acceptable and what's not, and feelings, and then I found a few things today. I got an autographed bobblehead of Ashley Eckstein's character Ahsoka Tano. And by bobblehead, I mean Funko Pop figure. Yeah. And then I got a copy of Fuck Whales, which is autographed with a note about our conversation that we actually had with Maddox today, because we hung out with him for a little bit. Yeah. And then I got a few issues of comics that I was looking for. I finally did the responsible thing and wrote down what comic issues I'm actually missing.
Nova with a mullet.
Yep, Nova with a mullet was in at least was in actually 2/3 of them.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Tate, what did you get today?
Today, mostly all I got was a Play Arts Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. Now, I could go into that for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Okay, so first of all, Aqua's from Birth by Sleep.
Birth by Sleep, this one specifically is from basically the demo for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts .2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
Because subtitles after your main title.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts. You have about 9,000 of them before you have 3, and it is big and loverly.
Ryan, what'd you get today?
I didn't get too much yet. I mean, we're still here for another few days, and I don't get paid till Tuesday, so that's fun. But I did pick up a cool Clone Wars shirt with Captain Rex on the front and a cool Republic Army sign on the behind it, which is really cool. Yeah,
which is nice too, because you can get a Star
Wars booth, which it's from the Her Universe booth, but it's the unisex one, which is really cool. Because I saw them, I really want that shirt, but I don't know if it's gonna make it look like I have boobs because it's fitted for a woman.
If you did, they would look great, I'm sure.
Thanks, buddy. I try. I think we picked up a few of the free Magic starter decks that they're giving out. They're revamped from the ones we got at WonderCon.
Yep. I actually opened it up to make sure I didn't get another Siobhan dragon.
I did, because
I pulled him out the other day and I almost destroyed you with it, except for that stupid destroy all of my stuff crap that you pulled.
Take that.
That's another podcast.
I think that was pretty much it that I got today.
Get some free stuff at the Marvel booth?
Yeah, we got some cool stuff at the Marvel booth, as usual. They were handing out some cool comic variants, so I got a Captain Marvel.
Dude, we could grab at the DC booth tomorrow.
Yeah, we really should. We need to go there. We got a few other places we need to go to.
I need to get to that Hasbro booth one of these days.
Oh yeah, Hasbro's got some cool stuff this year.
Optimus Primal.
Yes.
Primal.
If you guys haven't seen that, go look it up. It is legit looking.
Oh yeah, I have always loved the design of Optimal Optimus. It's a little weird because his backpack guns are also become normal Optimus Primal, but and when it's off, the monkey has no back, so it's weird. But when he's fully transformed into robot mode, he's got this kick-ass crown that it's a remold of the basic Power of the Primes. Nice. Optimus Primal, yeah. Nice.
I had an Optimus Primal when I was younger, and it was dude. My Optimus Primal was, I think it was actually Maximus Prime. It was huge, first of all, and it had 4 transformations. It was the purple one, the purple and orange one.
Didn't you have that one, Tate?
Yeah, you did.
I have that one without a head, and that's that's Optimal Optimus.
Optimal Optimus.
Yes, it's huge. Mine didn't have either the monkey head or the regular Optimus head, because gotten it from an estate sale later. And
really?
Oh yeah. No. Oh please, I would have taken far better care of that thing if it had been mine as a kid. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted that one and the Dragon Megatron.
Oh
yeah. See, I wanted that one. I had the Velociraptor. What was his name?
Dinobot.
I had Dinobot, but as the skeleton.
Dinobot 2.
Dinobot.
That was the Transmetal 2.
Yeah, and that with the fully functional tail. Oh man. So when I saw the Optimus Primal at the thing today, I was like, oh, this isn't nearly as cool as the two that I had in my youth.
You haven't seen the masterpiece Dinobot then. It's incredible. It's actually bigger than the old Optimal Optimus. Oh yeah, no. It's bigger.
Was it down there?
No. Someone may have that one, but it's going to be a random vendor.
Right.
Because you got to remember, Transformers are made by tons of different companies, not just a single one. And this one is nearly show accurate. It looks terrible in beast mode because you can see all of the creases and all that from the transformation lines. Right. But when it is in full robot mode, it looks totally show accurate to the original one, and even has some cracked stuff from the spoilers, the final scene from Dinobot before he went on. Yeah. Tell my story.
We were just talking earlier today about how much we freaking loved Beast Wars when we were kids.
So good.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. So good. Okay. So yeah, that's Comic-Con.
So that's kind of
today, Thursday. We've got signings we're going to try to get a hold of tomorrow.
Yeah, Bryce, what are you looking for tomorrow?
So it turns out that Ben Levine, Matt Burnett, Ian Jones-Cordy, and Rebecca Sugar are all here, which are major players in the Steven Universe in production, and you know how I love me some Steven Universe. They are in 2 different groups also. So if I do, I'm going to bring my my copy of The Answer as well as the art book I got here from last year, because they're just, and I listen to these guys on their podcast all the time because they describe their show really, really detailed.
They break everything
down. And it's so cool because sometimes it's just the funniest story, and then sometimes it's really artsy, deep kind of stuff, and I love it. So that I'd really like to get into. And then I know a few of the other ones that are going on that you guys are into, I'm also excited for. So I'll just let you guys tell them. So tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the signing that we're really excited for is the DuckTales signing.
Woo!
Woohoo! It's got the entire cast. It's biggest one there, of course, David Tennant, Scrooge McDuck.
Oh yeah,
He's so good.
He's so good. There.
I remember Amir, who has never been on our podcast despite our many attempts. Amir told me one day, he was like, "Dude, have you watched the new DuckTales?" And I was like, "No, not really. Like, I mean, I don't know. I love my DuckTales." It's like, dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
So one day I'm scrolling through channels and of course I don't have TV at my house, so I was at my parents' house and I'm visiting my parents and I'm scrubbing through channels. DuckTales is on, so I turn it on. And of course, somebody walks down the stairs and sees this grown-ass man watching DuckTales. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, how you doing?" But I'll tell you,
cereal.
I'll tell you, Mom, meatloaf, Mom. But I'll tell you what, it is such a good show.
It's really good.
It really, truly captures the spirit of that show.
I've seen the first 4 or 5 episodes, and I keep meaning to catch up later on.
I mean, good lord, the cast is amazing. David Tennant, Ben Schwartz, Danny Pudi,
Oh man,
Bobby Moynihan, Kate McCucci.
I love Kate McCucci.
Yeah.
She's also on Steven Universe. Wait a minute, is she gonna be there?
Scrubs.
Yes. Kate McCucci's on everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Excuse me, that would not be the Gooch.
She's the Gooch in Scrubs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, forget. I was just going by her name.
Catherine Tate?
Yes, Catherine Tate.
Lin-Manuel Miranda? They're not.
Yeah, she's Magica.
Oh, that's super
But
cool.
it's fitting.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know who's.
I don't know who's
gonna
gonna
be
be
there tomorrow,
there,
but I
who's
know
not,
a
but,
good
like-
chunk of them will be.
It's gonna be the main
like Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and
Louie, Webby, Launchpad, Beck Bennett, and that's about it. Pretty sure they're not gonna have anyone else. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to have Paul F. Tompkins because Lord knows Gladstone's constantly in that series.
yeah. That'd be, I mean, well, we'll find out, I guess. So in order to do those, we have to go get tickets tomorrow morning, which means we got to get here
9
early, 9 a.m., and go fight a crowd all the way
we know where we're
upstairs.
getting
There might be
And the ticket giveaway autograph area.
Yeah, it's upstairs where we got the lanyards.
Oh,
and all
right,
that.
that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah.
So
It's not hard to find. It's just hard to go through and the battle royale that is murdering everyone to get to there.
right, and of course, we don't want to spend all of our time in the exhibit hall, otherwise we wind up accidentally spending money.
What money?
Oh, yeah. Well, I did. And now I have books and comics and a really cool Ahsoka Tano bobblehead. Anyway, what are we going to do in order to avoid that?
There is a couple panels I want to go see.
Do you want to go to any signings?
No, in fact, I didn't really know you guys
there
wanted
is-
to go to the
there is-
autographs till
There is
like
one
last
other-
night.
Hey, don't forget there is one signing you want. Timothy's on.
I mean,
We would like to go get Timothy Zahn's autograph for his copy of Thrawn. Oh, and Christy Golden's going to be there too. Yes, she wrote Dark Disciple, which is cool. But that's Saturday. Yes. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Rebecca Sugar is also Saturday. Anyway, well, it doesn't matter. What do you want to see tomorrow as far as panels?
so Marvel's got a couple cool panels. They got a Spider-Man panel. They got a big old Spider-Man event coming up later this year called Spider-Geddon, kind of the sequel to the Spider-Verse.
This time with probably less convolution and less vampires.
You lie.
Let's
They haven't really.
Marvel, less convolution? Probably not.
Yeah.
Less convolution, less Spider-Man. I'm gonna probably say yes to.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they've shown the Insomniac one on there.
Yeah, so they got the new video game Spider-Man in the comic book, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, there's the Marvel Cup of Joe, and it's like the Marvel Knights 20th anniversary, which they haven't really done in like 10 years, I want to say. So Marvel Knights was kind of a more serious teen plus version of some stories.
It was Marvel Now. Not Marvel Now.
Nope.
No, Marvel Now was
Marvel
always
Knights.
less serious.
Marvel X?
No, Marvel Knights.
What was Jessica Jones under?
Marvel Knights.
No, I don't buy it.
Alias?
Yeah.
That was her book. That was the book's name.
That was her entire book's name.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
Alias?
Alias. Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
Anyway, okay.
So they haven't done it in like I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. So it's kind of weird. They're like, oh, it's 20th anniversary. I'm like, y'all haven't done it in a while, so I don't know if it really counts. But okay, whatever. But then also,
Last time there was an anniversary of something, they wound up bringing the whole goddamn thing back.
yeah, but that's not quite how this one's working.
That's fair.
Hey, Clone Wars is coming back. Did you guys know that?
Clone Wars is coming back.
Oh, man. Speaking of Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm has a publishing story thing going on. They don't really give much detail on like who's going to be there or what stories they're going to talk about, or if it's comics or if it's kids' books or whatever. But yeah, so that's going on. And then that's pretty much it. I know there's a DuckTales panel.
Yeah, there's a DuckTales panel.
And
they're probably going to go straight from the panel to the signing.
yeah, probably.
And then over in Ballroom 20,
We got Cloak and Dagger panel.
I'm probably going to skip that because I haven't watched any Cloak and Dagger yet.
Yeah, same. I keep meaning to watch it, and things come up.
I just got caught up on S.H.I.E.L.D. and Luke Cage.
I've got 90 billion anime and all that to watch, so
Yeah. And then there's the last one. It's the Sony Pictures panel. They're going to be showing some Venom stuff. They're going to be showing some...
Symbiote.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. And then they're going to be showing some Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man movie, that animated one that's coming out.
The good Spider-Man movie that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love dad. I love like dad joke Peter in there.
Oh, yeah. It's Nick Miller.
Yeah, it's Nick Miller. It's glorious.
From New Girl.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That all I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm kind of just going with the flow for the most part, because yeah.
Right on. That's kind of me too. I mean, I'm excited about the signature thing. I missed out on it last year, so I'd like to try to make an effort. But Tate, you got anything else tomorrow after signings?
Tomorrow after signings, nothing in particular really. I'm gonna look into Saturday's stuff a bit more. I think Fridays again. Hall H is overtaking everything as per usual, but which makes it nearly impossible to get into anything.
Well, the nice thing about Hall H though is it means that the other ballrooms are a little easier to get into.
Oh yeah, which is nice.
And then after we did all that stuff, before we go, we also spent a little bit of time over in the Gaslamp District, and that is the area outside of Comic-Con in San Diego that's full of, like, restaurants and all sorts of art galleries and cool stuff like that, and many of them are actually themed, and we found... I was walking by, and I suddenly realized that It's Over, Isn't It?, which was the main, like, power theme from the Emmy-nominated episode of Steven Universe from last season, was being played on a saxophone while a dude played like an electric guitar next to it. And I stopped and I listened. He was like, "You like Steven Universe?" I'm like, "I love Steven Universe, buddy." So we went and played like 2 other songs from it. And we're going to try to get them onto the podcast later. They're a group called The Con Players. And you can find them on Instagram at The Con Players. They said some people cosplay, we con play. And they're pretty cool. And we got a couple of other cool people we met today that want to come on the podcast. I talked to the Safe Haven people. We've got some cosplayers that want to come on here. So it should be a really busy weekend with a lot of really cool stuff for us. We just have to make sure we can fit in what we want to see as well as with what we want to talk about.
Right.
So,
Lord knows that's always the most difficult part. Just so many places to be, so little time.
it's just tough to fit it all in. Yep, going out on that note. Yep.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
We love you.
See you tomorrow.